Hey, this is Derek, and I'm with my son.
Jason.
Hey, and we just decided we want to have a little fun, and we're kind of bored, so how can we make some barn doors is what we wanted to do. Now, barn doors are pretty popular these days. A lot of people are having them in their house. We wanted to use them for our master bedroom closet doors, and I looked into it, and they're kind of expensive. You can pay for doors anywhere from $150, $200 all the way on up to much more than that. So I started looking into what's a cheaper way we can do a door. And what I decided to do is I just simply went to Home Depot and I got some wood siding. Got it cut to size. We got one closet that's kind of wider, that's kind of my closet, and then we're gonna have two double doors that we're gonna use a bypass system for my wife's doors. And basically what we did is we got some 1x5s and we cut them to size and made a little perimeter. We put some glue on the bottom, put some kind of panel mounting nails in there just to hold it while we flipped it over. And then on the back, we just drove in some wood screws along the back, if you can kind of see those there. And they don't have to be perfect, just kind of drive them in, just kind of presses the board and the glue right up against there. And you've got yourself a barn door. And it looks pretty good, and it's about less than $75 probably per door. We're gonna put a little Z, kind of a little cross brace across them there too. We'll show you how we do this on our last door. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna do this last door here. And again, as I said, this is simply just siding from Home Depot. It's 4 foot wide by 8 feet. We cut off 1 foot off the bottom, so its total dimensions are 7 feet tall, and we left the 4 feet on the side. Actually, no, on this door we cut it down to about 36 inches total width here, and that's just because we needed to have two doors that will be on the bypass system. So this is just a 3/4 inch width plywood board, and we're going to go ahead and show you how to do it. Okay, so we have some 1x5. It's actually about 4.5 true inches wide by 8 feet long. We're going to have to cut it down about 1 foot again because our closet doors are 7 feet long. But basically, it's poplar wood from Home Depot, and these are going to be our borders along the siding. And so we're just going to be putting that on there and then getting it all the way around. And we're going to measure this now, and then we'll be cutting this down on a miter saw, and then we'll be putting some glue on it, hit some panel mounting nails on it. We'll flip it over, and then we'll be driving wood screws in the bottom. It's just that easy. Okay, so we measured the length of the door, the siding, and it's 7 feet, which is 84 inches. Actually, it's just about a 1/16 less than 84 inches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out this piece. This is gonna be going long ways, and we are going to measure out 84 inches. We'll make the mark there so we can see where we need to cut. I like to do another one too on the other edge, just for grins and giggles. Okay, so we've made our mark. Now we need to take it to the miter saw, and we're gonna cut that. Really easy. Okay, now we have got our long boards cut down to 7 feet just to match the siding here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put some glue. It's just basic Gorilla Glue. And we're going to put that on, and then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to be putting some little, these are just panel board nails, just to kind of be placeholders to hold it in place. Once we finish all of the boards, we'll flip it over, and then we'll be driving wood screws down into it. And these panel board screws are just 1-inch nails. And then we have on the back side, we'll be putting in wood screws that are also 1-inch, number 6 1-inch wood screws. Here we go. Okay, we have our long pieces on now. They're glued and nailed with these panel mounting nails. And now we're just going to simply measure the width of these small pieces. Do the same thing. We're going to measure the width, we're going to cut the wood, then we're going to glue it, and then we're going to nail it in place. After that, we flip the whole project upside down, and then we put the wood screws in. Okay, we put the molding or the wood framing around all three doors now. And now we are going to be working on the diagonal piece that kind of finishes it off. And we actually started on the first two, so you can kind of see down here. This is going to be what a finished piece looks like. And we'll have to cut it with a little bit of an angle. And we're going to have one more to show you how we did it. Let's go take a look. Okay, we're going to show you how to do that diagonal piece here. And I've got a straight edge, a level here. And what I want to do is just position this. This is our 1x5. It's 8 feet long. We're going to kind of get that set in that corner. And you can see there's some overlap going on here. We need that. And we're also going to get this angle set here too. So I can kind of see the edge of that horizontal piece right there. And that looks set. And this looks set here again. And then I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm just simply going to line it up. It's good if you close one eye and just look straight over the top of it. I'm going to have a little bit of a margin here between the board and my level, and I want to see that gap, just a little bit of a gap, because I don't want to make this thing too long. It wants to fit in there, and that looks pretty good and even to me as I'm sighting it in. So then we're going to scratch the line right there. Not too shabby. And then we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to see that that hasn't moved, good. And we're going to bring our level up here, our straight edge that we're using. Again, close one eye, look straight over the top of it, making sure that it looks parallel. And I can see a little bit of the gap that I'm looking for here. So I'm not overcutting this piece. Just a little bit of margin, and that looks good as well. So we're going to make a line on that. All right, it's time to go cut it. Okay, so we're out here by the miter saw. We're going to make that diagonal cut, or that little angular cut. Cool thing about the about this, and by the way, I just rented this at Home Depot. I don't even own one of these things. So, but it's really easy to use. So what we're doing is kind of loosening this up here. We're going to push this little lever down, and now you can see the whole thing is free to spin at any type of angle that you need it to cut. So that's really handy. And there's the degrees down here if you're paying attention to that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of move the board down to a point at which I can see my line here, and then we're going to see how much angle we need to cut. You can see that's way too much angle, so we're going to need to back it off, and we're going to get that line right over the saw. And the thing you want to do then is just bring your saw down so you can see how it will cut on that line, if you need more angle or less angle. And that looks actually pretty good right there. We're at, what is that, 17 degrees of an angle, and I'm checking it all down the line here on this miter saw. I'm pretty happy with that result. So once I've got that line, it's time to make the cut. Okay, once you have the angle just set right, and I'm looking at about 17 degrees for this particular cut, then I want to tighten down so that it does not move or shift that angle on me. Make sure my board is straight, and we're ready to cut. Easy. Okay, we've cut our cross brace, our diagonal piece here, but now's the scary part. We see if it's gonna fit. Let's try it out. Ah! Oh yeah, that fits like a glove. So that's good. Now, what we're gonna do is do the same thing we've done with the other pieces. We're gonna flip it over, we're gonna goose it up with some glue, and then we're gonna hit some nails in it. Now what I discovered is instead of doing a couple of top nails in it, flipping it over and putting the wood screws through the back so that we don't see much kind of on the surface piece, is a little scary to think of going through the bottom in this diagonal piece here, because we don't know exactly where that board is. We could figure it out, but I just thought instead of that, we're just going to drive more little panel mount nails through the top of this piece here, and it's not going to be a bit bad because the nail really stays pretty flush with the surface, and we can put a little bit of filler or a little bit of putty on it to finish it off before we paint it anyway. So we're gonna do that right now. Let's finish this project out. Well, that's how easy it is to make barn doors on the cheap. Inexpensive barn doors, in this case for closets in a master bedroom. So we've got 3 panels, they're all finished here. Now all we've got to do is prime them, paint them, and then mount them. Thanks for watching.